Hello.
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 Today we're reviewing.
XTC's The Black Sea.
Thank you.
Or just Black Sea.
From 1980.
Doesn't really have a the.
Yeah, you're a huge XTC fan. I like them a lot.
I'm enormous.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I've loved them for a long time. Great band.
so this is their fourth record, after White Music, Go To, and Drums and Wires.
Very good.
Thank you. Their second album with Dave Gregory.
Yes.
After they added a second guitar player instead
After
of
nixing their keyboard player.
another keyboard player. And I think this album is really Andy Partridge and Colin Moulding really
Fully
having found their songwriting chops.
Yeah.
Like they're writing songs. I mean, that they wanted to write. All of their influences have been like synthesized. This is a really great album. It's actually, well, I don't know. It's not my it's my favorite sounding XTC album. Put it that way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very guitar based, very much so. The guitar is front and center. It's a fairly aggressive album.
Yeah, it's aggressive. It's also still melodic and very balanced.
Yes,
it's got, great rhythms and beats and interesting song structures. It's awesome melodies. I already said that, but
yeah. No.
Super good lyrics. Great performances. I give it all these.
Anyway, yeah, so let's get into that.
Okay.
Respectable Street. This was a single.
Yeah.
The album version starts with the little
like radio
like Victrola-y kind of sounding,
Which I like.
Yeah, no, it works. It works really well. And then the guitar comes in, and it's such an awesome guitar part. It stays on that for a while.
Drums are cool too.
No, the drums.
Yeah, the rhythm of it.
The drums on this album are huge sounding. That's part of the thing. I love the drum sounds on this album. What'd you say?
Trevor Moore.
Terry Chambers. R.I.P.
Yeah. Bless him.
Terry Chambers, and and the bass and the drums kick in, and it's great. It's I don't know how to say. I keep wanting to say this, but it just is a very kind of aggressive, in your face song.
A lot of XTC, especially of this period, their songs, they're very driving.
Yeah. They
have like really awesome like progressions, and they just really like propel itself forward.
It's such a cool guitar part, and I think for people that maybe started listening to them when they had their U.S. hit, which is from Skylarking, and if and that album is often pushed forward as like the best album or the classic album for them. And I really would recommend people listen to this first, or at the very least, this album would sound really different if that's what you've heard first, or even if you heard like Apple Venus first, or
Yeah.
This album is very it's fairly raw, but perfectly polished too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's XTC through and through. Respectable Street is an awesome opening song. It really sets the intention for the whole album.
Lyrically, Respectable Street as kind of satire, is something that you would think, it makes you think of Ray Davies, of course, and it's not just dead end. It's not just Street is in the title, but it is.
And
Yeah, but it is something that Ray Davies started doing. Certainly, he's not the only one.
It always, when you said satire, it reminded me, this song always reminds me of Monty Python. I picture like row houses in England and like Monty Python, dressed as ladies.
That's funny, it always makes me think of Jane Austen.
Well, see, this is where we differ.
What, that I lied and you told the truth? I guess I cannot see that. But anyway, just as like social commentary, satire, I think it's just really well done. It doesn't smack you over the head with anything.
No, because you wouldn't even notice it unless you were like really paying attention.
Well, unless you're Sony. You're like, hey,
check that out.
Generals and Majors, probably the catchiest song on this album.
And it's a Colin Moulding song.
Well, that's not surprising.
No, not to you, not to me.
It's a great song. Mm-hmm. It has a cool kind of disco-y beat.
Yeah, it
still doesn't lose its drive. You know, it's still got that kind of aggression that this album tends to have. It's dancey, but it's just a great rock and roll song, great rock song, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what pop is, so I can't say pop.
This is pop. Living Through Another Cuba.
Living Through Another Cuba.
Bah!
That's a cool song. And I also, as a history lesson, it's not perfect, because he says 61, but that's okay.
Well, from England.
I know he has acknowledged that.
Different time zone.
That's true. And it's an interesting song, though, and it's fairly honest, from an English point of view, viewing the
Bay of Pigs situation.
Sort of machinations of the Soviet Union and the United States, and being kind of in the middle.
Very apropos for today's goings-on.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good song. It's got a kind of Latin beat, and it's cool. Love at First Sight, another Colin Moulding song.
If we don't mention it, it's an Andy Partridge song.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, Colin Moulding was writing so many songs at this time.
Well, most of the songs that people who maybe don't know XTC would probably point to actually Colin's songs. Generals and Majors.
Well, Making Plans for Nigel.
That one.
Yeah. Generals and Majors.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
They would look to, Generals and Majors and Making Plans for Nigel is probably two of the most popular ones.
The Hop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Word.
The actual title of the song.
Life Begins at the Hop.
Life Begins at the Hop, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but so this is another song. This is such a great song. And it's another really catchy song.
Yeah, his songs have really great hooks.
Yeah, they do.
They're just really good. Solid.
He's also a great bass player. I mean, that's why I think sometimes people really think that these things are maybe even more Beatlesque than they are, because he does play rather like Paul McCartney on some of these tracks. He definitely, was greatly influenced by Paul McCartney.
Who was greatly influenced by?
Brian Wilson. Mm-hmm. No, I know. Well, I mean, some of them are Beach Boys-y, but they're also Beatle-y. It's just they were Beach Boys first, but, whatever. Who's counting? I'm just saying. Well, it's like the...
They are.
Jenna, listen to me carefully. That the bass line in I'm Only Sleeping. Yeah, anyway.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that. No, anyway. But he was influenced by Paul McCartney. So it does, it does lend a kind of a Beatle-y... What?
We just gave Paul money when I went boom, 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 boom.
Anyway, that's an awesome song. It's really catchy. These should have been bigger hits.
Well, so that's the frustrating thing when you're talking about XTC, because although they are a known band, they should have been like the Police. They should have been...
What, boring?
They should have been big stars. I mean, when you watch performances of them
I don't think they're
live,
boring. It's just a joke.
Here come all the Police, the Sting fans. When you watch performances of XTC, they obviously were like a really compelling live band.
They're a great live band.
Really, really great to watch. So they had that going for them.
Yeah.
They're awesome. The songs are awesome.
No matter what. Yeah, these songs are so great. They should have been all huge hits. Every one of them.
Like No Language in Our Lungs.
That might be my favorite song on this album.
I know. It also has movements.
A rock and roll ballad, but it's a lot more complex and it does. It moves through the song really interestingly. It doesn't just perfectly formed rock and roll song, really. I know, some people would hear that some of this is Beatlesque, and that's fair. It sounds like Big Star to me, if anything, although I know people would say that's Beatlesque too.
Yeah, they've been known to say that.
But, I mean, I'm not going to dispute that, but it's really great. It's a great vocal performance by Andy on this. I think And great words. Mm-hmm. You know, always great words on XTC songs. You know, and I love the guitar sound on that.
Well, also, I don't know if we mentioned that.
It's about my favorite guitar sound.
That one of the real like keys to XTC's sound is that dissonant thing that they do.
Well, yeah.
Which is pretty unique.
And you hear on, I mean, not so much on this song, but you do hear on this album.
Yeah.
You hear it on Respectable Street, and you hear it on Love at First Sight a little bit, certainly on Sergeant Rock. Yeah, it's what makes them so unique and so interesting. All the things that Andy Partridge was listening to all come together into this, you know, in this band. They are unique. They really are. It's, I mean,
Towers of London is a great song.
Yeah, it is. And most of them, I mean, this album is like in between. It kind of, like we were saying when we were talking about this before, you know, it's kind of from white music to like Big Express. It's like in between. It has a little bit of all of that still. Mm-hmm. It's a really balanced album in that way and very interesting. And I think, you know, one of the reasons why it's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
There is a song that is like unlike really almost anything I feel like they ever did or did again, which is Travels in Neoline. I don't feel like they ever did that really again.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique for them.
It's like atmospheric. And
it almost sounds like something that they would have done on Dukes of Stratosphere.
Yeah.
If anything. Mm. But it's really unique. I like that song. I really like the song. The drums are awesome.
Yeah, and the bass line that's going like...
Yeah.
It's just like... It's almost like a pulse. It's really interesting.
It is a good song. It's a cool song. And I mentioned Sergeant Rock. We're going back. Well, Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, Sergeant Rock is so fun and
really
solid.
Catchy song.
Yeah.
From Andy this time.
Yes. Yeah, he can do it too.
No, of course. Altogether.
Paper and Iron.
Yeah, that's actually
I love Paper
that's
and
a really
Iron.
cool song. One that you used to, probably one of the reasons why you
I know. I was like, Sean, listen to XTC. They sound like Mission of Burma.
Yeah, I'm a big Mission of Burma fan, and
No.
you know, and that yeah.
I'm like, but they do.
There are similarities between
It literally took like 20 years.
Yeah. I love the production on this album. I think there's more just straight electric guitar on this.
They did move into a little more of an acoustic-y
thing. By English Settlement, you know, Dave Gregory's getting into the 12 strings, right. And then Andy Partridge really does start moving into more acoustic stuff, you know.
That's okay.
Yeah, but so this is really, it's got that real aggressive guitar sound, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The whole album. I would recommend this. I would, for someone that hasn't heard XTC.
Right, it's a good starter.
Even more than Drums and Wires or Skylarking.
Drums and Wires is super catchy, easy. I think it's easy access.
This or English Settlement, to me, would be the things I would recommend. English Settlement, though, is a little long.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, because it's double. But,
it's a double.
Yeah, so I would recommend this.
Me too.
It's great. It's
yeah,
really,
Black Sea's
really
awesome.
Great. It's
awesome.
It's just great. Every perfectly crafted rock songs, every one of them. You know.
Yeah, XTC.
I know we skipped a couple, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we didn't talk about every song, but
No,
XTC never fails to impress me and give me joy.
Well, and should inspire, because just from a music standpoint, they're really...
They really make you want to make music.
They're really great.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed our discussion about Black Sea. Let us know what you think about XTC in the comments, and like this video. Please subscribe, and we'll be back soon with another video. Thanks for watching.